Namaste Gurukulians. I hope you all are fine and safe at your house. And today I am Yogita. I am going to teach you the chapter 11 of science, that is measurement and motion. Before starting the chapter, we need to understand some of the basic terms which are included in the chapter. So here you are able to see two terms written on the board, measurement and motion. You know, in our daily day-to-day life, you know that we need to go through different kind of things. We need to walk through one place to another. We should know the distance in how much time we would be able to reach from one place to other. So we need to know certain units, certain systems, certain things. So I am going to tell you all of them today. The very first point before starting measurement and motion, the very first point that you should understand that when any object is not in movement, it is not moving from one place to other, then what object is called? It is at rest. Now as you see, this board is stationary, it is not moving from one place to other, so it is at rest. At rest, the object which does not show any movement, it is not changing its position from one place to other or with respect to time, it is stationary at one place. Apart from this, in contrast, you see there is a term called motion. Motion means when the object is changing its place from one area or one place to other with respect to time, then it is said to be in motion. Like if I am moving from one place to other, so I am in motion, I am regularly in motion. Okay, so measurement, there is a word written here, measurement. Measurement means to measure anything, to measure, to know the exact value or to find the length, size, etc. So this is known as measurement. And why we need to measure the things? Because to live our life in a convenient way, easy way, okay, that is why we need to measure the things, we need to know the value, different values. So thereby, like if you talk about motion, in earlier times people used to like walk through legs. Nowadays we use our transportation system, we use cars, we use bikes. So motion can be of different types. Okay, now moving further, measurement and motion, we need to know the precise things also. Now length, mass, temperature, time, all these things, these are included under the measurement. Okay, and how you will come to know about them? Measurement of different aspects, like to measure the length of any system, like to measure the length of this board, to know the time, to know the temperature of a certain thing. These all are known as physical quantities. So what are physical quantities? Physical quantities, like I just told you, length, mass, time, temperature. These are known as physical quantities. Okay, length, when you need to know the length of certain thing. Mass means how much weight it possesses or how much heavy it is. Time, the duration you need to know. Temperature, if you want to know the temperature, okay, like you measure the temperature of your body with the help of thermometer, so that is also a measurement. Fine. Now why these physical quantities are needed? I just told you, in day-to-day life we need all these physical measurements to make our life more convenient. Okay, now these physical measurements, these physical quantities, these are measured in the certain values. So these are measured in physical quantities, these are measured in known values, and these known values are called as unit. So what is a unit? Unit is the, what do you call a unit as? It is the measurement of physical quantity in known value, that is known as a unit. So to find the precise measurement, we need to go through these physical quantities. Now I want to give you an example also. Like suppose you want to get a cloth stitched. You go to tailor and you tell him to stitch one of your dress or any attire you want to get stitched. So the tailor will take the exact measurement of your body, according to which he will stitch the cloth, he will stitch the dress. Okay, suppose if you have to go from one place to other, suppose you need to go from your home to the school or from your hostel to your classroom, you should know the exact time that in 5 minutes I will be able to reach from my room to my class, or in 15 minutes or in 20 minutes, half an hour, I will be able to reach my school, okay, in this much time. So this make our life more convenient and easy. So these are the normal things. A bit you might be knowing about them for now. And you know, in earlier time when people they were not having such kind of instrumentation or measuring tools. So what were their tools with the help of which they were measuring the distance? There are some of the units, some of the methods they used by which they were able to do the measurement in their day-to-day life. So what were these? I am telling you some of the measurement that earlier time people used to have. The very first one I am telling you is cubit. First one is cubit. So what is a cubit? Cubit means from tip of your outstretched middle finger. Like I am doing like this. Fine. So the tip of the middle finger, outstretched palm, tip of the middle finger to your elbow. This distance starting from the middle fingertip to the elbow, this is known as cubit. So this distance is known as cubit. It is from the outstretched middle finger to elbow. So it is the distance from outstretched middle finger to the elbow. This is known as a cubit. Okay. The second one I am telling you is hand span. Hand span means, as the name is indicating, when you outstretch your hand or your palm like this. If you outstretch your hand, you can do it as I am doing. So if you observe your hand, when you have just done like this. So starting from the tip of your thumb, to the little finger, to the tip of the little finger. This distance, if I draw it like this, so this distance, outstretched hand, starting from the tip of the thumb to the last finger or little finger, this distance is known as hand span. The third one is, it is the distance from tip of little finger to thumb or outstretched thumb. The third one is fathom. What is a fathom? When you outstretch your both the arms like this. If you stretch your both the arm like this, so the distance starting from this middle finger, the tip of the middle finger, starting from this point to that point, like this tip of the middle finger. So this complete distance starting from the tip of the middle finger here and to the tip of the middle finger in the right hand. So this complete distance is known as fathom. It is the tip of distance from tip of middle finger of one hand to other with outstretched outstretched arms. The last one I am telling you is pace. Pace. P-A-C-E. It is the distance between two walking steps. Suppose, like the comfortable distance between two walking steps. I am moving with like this. So I am moving with this as with which my feet found the comfort zone. Okay, like you move with the normal steps. So these normal steps, the distance between the two normal moving steps, the distance between the two normal moving steps or the two walking steps as you are walking. So the distance between one feet to the other walking feet. This is known as a pace. Okay, so four I told you. The first one was cubit. Cubit means the distance between middle finger to the elbow. Second was handspan. Handspan means as you outstretch your hand. So starting from this point to this point, this is handspan. Third one was fathom. When you outstretch your arm like this, so starting from this point to this point is fathom. The fourth one which I told you is pace, the distance between two walking steps. So these were the different unit systems which were used by the earlier people or the people in the earlier time. But do you think it is like precise? I don't think that it is precise. Why it is not precise? Because the handspan, the distance of my handspan, is it equal to yours one? No, because there is a distance, there is a difference between the body structure, the height, length of, and it differs from person to person. These all units, they will differ from person to person according to the height, length, breadth of the body of a person. So these systems are not really reliable. So what was done thereafter? As the time passed by, the scientists, the people, they discovered new systems, new unit systems, new measurement systems which can make the measurement very easy. So in 1790, the French people in 1790, they discovered a metric system. So I am telling you that in 1790, in the year 1790, the French people developed metric systems. These metric systems were used for the measurement. So two systems they have given. The very first one was CGS and the second one is MKS. So two systems were given by the French people. The first one is CGS and the second one is MKS. So the full form of CGS is centimeter, gram, second. And the second is MKS. MKS means meter, kilogram, second. So two metric systems were given by French people so that it can be convenient for everybody to measure the things. So the two metric systems given by them were CGS and second one is MKS. So thereafter, even with the two systems, we got confused, the people got confused that which is more reliable one or which is more precise one. So in the year 1960, this was the first one, the second one is year 1960. In the year 1960, there was a reliable system developed thereafter which we are following till now, that is known as International System of Unit. So International System of Units. In short, we call them SI units. In short, we call them international, or you may write the international system of units. So this system was developed after that, after the French system, French metric system. Now this is the most reliable system which we are following till date, and it contains some of the things which I am telling you now. The physical quantities which I told you earlier, length, mass, time and temperature, these are included under the international system of units. How? I am telling you. If I try to make a table through which you can easily understand, one side I am writing the physical quantities, on the other side I am writing, what should I write? SI units. What SI units or what units? Units means, what is the meaning of unit? I told you, it is the fixed value of standard unit which help us to measure the thing precisely, to measure the things in the accurate way. Okay. So the very first one I am writing here is length. So what is the SI unit of length given by system? International means the international system of unit. The physical quantity length, the unit for this is meter. The second one is mass. Mass. The SI unit for mass is given kg or kilogram. As a symbol, as a sign, we write meter as m, small m, and to kilogram we write as kg. Okay. Third one is time. The SI unit for time is second. The last one is temperature. The SI unit for temperature is Kelvin. You need to learn all these physical quantities and their SI units, because these are not going to help you for this class, but in the higher studies, for the further classes also you need to learn all this. So for now only you learn all these physical quantities and SI units, so that it may help you for the further studies also. Okay. Now these are for the bigger measurements. Now if you have to measure a very small, like for this choke, I tell you one thing, that suppose I need to measure the length of this choke. Okay, so I will not be able to measure the length in meters. I need to go for the very small unit. Okay. So what is that small quantity used for these? I am writing the small quantities. Small quantities used against this. Like I suppose we need to measure the length of this choke or object with this kind of length. So we need to measure in small quantity. For this convenience, we have divided or we have shortened to a smaller number of divisions. Like meter is divided into 100. How many centimeters are there in a meter? There are 100 centimeters. Okay. Now suppose if you need to move from one city to other city, then you will measure the length in kilometer. Okay. So I am writing it in more convenient way here, so that you can properly understand this. So in 1 kilometer there are 1000 meter. In 1 kilometer there are 1000 meter, and in 1 meter there are 100 centimeters. You need to learn these quantities. In 1 kilometer there are 100 meters. In 1 meter there are 100 centimeters, and in 1 centimeter there are 10 millimeters. You can easily see them upon the simple scale. If you have a simple scale in your geometry box, you can see over that there are like this, there are divisions. Okay, so this is for centimeter and these smaller divisions are for millimeters. Okay. So by this you can come to know, with the help of scale I will tell you now also after this topic, that how to measure the things in length or lengthwise. But before that we need to understand this concept very carefully, because some numericals are also included in the chapter related to this concept, that how many meters are there in this kilometer, or we will solve a numerical also here. Now before that you need to learn all this carefully, that in 1 kilometer there are 1000 meter, in 1 meter there are 100 centimeter, and in 1 centimeter there are 10 equal divisions as millimeters. Okay, so suppose if I tell you that the distance between the school and the house or a shop, the distance between your home to the school is suppose 30, or it is suppose 3 kilometers. The distance between home and school is 3 kilometers, and I tell you to change this 3 kilometers into meters. Then how you will change? In 3 kilometers how many meters are there? I told you in 1 kilometer there are 1000 meters. So if you change it into meters, you need to multiply it by 1000. So the answer will be 3000 meters. Okay, the answer will be 3000 meters. So like this you can solve the numericals. Okay, this is a very easy concept. If you understand it once, you will not get problem any in the future. Moving further, one more topic we are going to discuss is measurement of length. The next topic is measurement of how to measure the length. Now what is length? Length is the distance between any 2 points. Length is the distance between any 2 points. Suppose here we have an object. This is a object. Of this object you need to find the length of this object. Now what you will do, how you will measure the length of any object side by side, as I am telling you this on the board. You can practice it at your house also. You can do one thing, just take a square box, take geometry box or anything which is available near you. Take that object, okay, place it in front of you and try to follow the steps that I am telling you. The very first thing is, step by step we move on. First step is, we have placed the object at a rest position, okay, at a uniform. Suppose you have a table that is not movable or not in motion, a very fixed place. You put that object over that fixed place, and thereafter what is the second step? You will take a measuring tape or a scale. What we will take? A measuring tape or a scale. Now with the help of scale, what you will do? You will place the scale right beneath this object. You will place the scale right beneath this object, and over that scale, you know, as I told you, there are certain markings given. These markings help us to know the exact length of the object. So now as you have placed the scale just below this object, there are numbers written over the scale 1, 2, 3, 4 likewise. Fine. The scale which you have in your geometry box, the numbers written here are in centimeters. 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter like this. So suppose this object now it ends here on the measuring scale. As you can see here, the very first point that I told you was to place the object at a stationary place, at like a plain or smooth table. Thereafter, need to take the measuring scale or measuring tape and to put that measuring scale or tape on the side of the one side of the object whose length is to be measured. Fine. Thereafter, keeping it carefully, you need to look from the like this position. If you will see this distance from this side, suppose from this side you are observing this, or from this side you are observing this. If you are observing it from this side, you will not be able to see. If we are observing it from this side, that means here also we are not able to see clearly. That means in the front of the object and the scale, you need to place your eyes just above the object, so that the exact measurement we can measure of the object whose distance or whose length is to be measured. This was the first and second point. The third thing is the scale or the measuring tape that we are using should be in the perfect condition. It shouldn't be broken. So these are the points which we can follow to measure the length of any object. Okay, so you will try to do this very simple and interesting activity at your home, and you will try to find out the length. Fine. Thereafter, this is a square object. This is a square object with 4 corners, and we are easily able to measure the length of this object. Suppose we have an object which is round in shape or circular in shape. Now what we will do in that case? Second is, if you have a circular object, then what you will do? Suppose we have a round object or circular object, a bowl, a hat or cap. Suppose it is round in shape, the object that we have. Fine. And you need to find out the length of this circular object. Now, can you think of a method by which you can measure the length of this circular object? Suppose you need to find the length starting from this point A, B, C. You need to find the length of A, B, C distance which is along this circular object. Now, how you will measure? With the scale, can you measure? Can you place the scale in this round position? No, we cannot, because scale is straight. We cannot measure the scale, the length with the straight measuring scale or tape. Now, in that case, what we can do? There's a very simple activity. This also you will try to do at your home. You will take a circular or round object. Thereafter, you will try to find the length of the circular object as I am telling you. Fine. Now, after taking this round object, just mark 2-3 positions with the black marker or sketch. Like I have done here, I have taken 3 points A, B, C. Fine. With the black sketch, you will mark all these positions. Thereafter, you will take a very good quality thread. Okay, a rope, whatever is available to you, a rope or a thread of a good quality. Then what you will do? You will hold the first point, or you will mark the position, any position. Suppose X, I have marked with the black sketch. I have marked with the black sketch here. point X over the thread. Fine. This is the 0 position. Over the scale, if you see there are markings 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and likewise similarly here on the rope or the thread I have marked point X. Okay, means black marking you have to do over the thread starting from the initial position, so that we can consider it as an initial position, that means 0. I am going to take this thread and I am placing this thread here. This was the thread and I have placed that thread here at this position over the point A. I have taken this thread with the black marking here and that black marking I am going to put it here on the point A. I have placed it here. Thereafter I will mold the thread like this and I will take a turn of the thread or rope, whatever is there with you. You will hold it like this from this position to this position. You will hold the thread from A position to C position. In round position you will take the thread and thereafter you will mark again. Suppose after rotating it here from this area to this area, from A position to C position, suppose the C point ends here. I have taken the rope, I have taken the thread and after taking a turn from A to C, the rope or the thread comes at C position with the marking here. You will mark at the another position. Okay, you will mark at the another position over the thread at which you have find the C position. Okay, where till this position when the thread will reach to the C, you will mark with a black sketch there. Thereafter you will remove the thread from that object and you will hold the thread like this in a straight position against a scale. Against a scale you will place. These were the two markings done, X and Y. These were the two markings which we have done over the thread or the rope. Now we are placing this thread or rope against the scale. Over the scale when you place it, then you will be easily able to find the exact length of the points, and this point, this distance between X to Y will tell us the exact length between the A, B, C or this complete area whose length was to be measured. Okay, this is very easy and simple activity. So you can try it at home and thereby you can find out the distance, and this definitely you have to do it at your home so that you may be able to understand the concept very easily. Fine. This was a topic to find the measurement of length of a square object or a round or a circular object. Okay. Now moving further, one more topic today I am telling you, that is estimation. Estimation means to get the approx idea or the approximate idea or the rough idea to find the measurement, or like if you are measuring something and you don't have any measuring instrument, with a rough idea, approximate idea, you try to measure that thing. So that is known as estimation. I am going to give you example. Suppose like your mother is cooking in kitchen and while preparing a vegetable or a curry, you put the spices like salt and red chili or any kind of spice that you are going to put in the curry that you are making. So we use a pinch. Suppose a pinch of salt I am putting it in the curry. So that is an estimation or rough idea, approx idea, which I am using for the estimation purpose. Okay, for the measurement purpose. So this is known as estimation, means to get a rough idea or approximate idea of the measurement. So that was it for today. Today I have told you 2-3 topics. I am just summarizing them briefly. The very first point that I told you was measurement and motion. What is measurement and motion? And why we do measurement and motion? For the convenience in our life. Thereafter the second thing which I told you was physical quantity and the units, how the metric systems were developed by French. 2 metric systems were developed. First was CGS, second was MKS. Thereafter we also get confusion in these metric systems. So we move to a international standard unit system that is known as SI unit. So there I told you that there are different SI units for different physical quantities, like for length, mass, temperature and time, and these physical quantity and units we are using till now date. We are following this SI unit system, and thereby I told you the measurement, to measure the length of a square object or a round object. This activity definitely you are going to do at your house. And at the last I told you about estimation, to get an approximate idea or a rough idea of measurement. Fine. So this was all for today, and this is the first video of this chapter named as measurement and motion. So rest of the chapter we will carry in the next video, and till then you will revise it completely. Thereafter second video till it comes, you will revise it thoroughly, and you can make a rough note also. Try these two activities which I have told you, and keep revising. Be safe at your home, and namaste till then.